Good afternoon. Hope everyone's doing well. My name is Gordana and today I'll be presenting on Couchbase DB. As you can see from the logo, it has no equal, so let's find out why. Couchbase is an award-winning distributed NoSQL database that delivers versatility, performance, and scalability across cloud, on servers, and mobile computing deployments. In today's presentation, I'm going to cover history and background, industry focus and pricing, architecture, accessibility, and some of the advantages and disadvantages to this specific database. Let's begin with how Couchbase DB came to be. Couchbase DB was created as the result of a merger of Membase and Couch1 in 2011, so it's a fairly new database, as is the case with most non-relational databases. Membase was originally created as a key value store database, which is just a data storage structure, more commonly known today as a dictionary that stores a collection of records. 1 year later, in 2012, the database was transformed from a key value into a JSON document-oriented database. In that same year, it started gaining popularity and got its first commercial user, Orbitz, which is a travel search website that changed some of its systems to use Couchbase. 2 years later, the first mobile version was created. In 2015 was actually a particularly big year for Couchbase DB, and the company started adding SQL query-like capabilities, incremental MapReduce feature, and replication across data centers. Later on, the full search and the data analytics features were added. Let's take a look at the customer target market or industry focus. Similar to other non-relational databases that were presented by others, Couchbase DB has customers in every industry, including household brands such as Marriott Hotels, AT&T, Wells Fargo, Staples, General Electric, Comcast, Louis Vuitton, LinkedIn, and many other. This is not to say that these customers exclusively use Couchbase. Some of the same customers are also featured on the MongoDB and Cassandra websites. One specific example that I'm going to talk about is the United Airlines that implemented Couchbase DB to address some of its crew scheduling software issues. They had a crew scheduling software that was outdated and difficult to use and maintain, and even the slightest downtime or data inaccuracy could cause a major flight delay. And the company also wanted the flexibility to operate in the Amazon Web Services and Azure Cloud, so they wanted to go on the cloud. Couchbase DB was able to address this challenge, and the outcome included multiple nodes that support critical operations by preventing data loss and system outages. Some of the other examples that I thought were interesting that were mentioned on the website were Tesco and Wells Fargo, but unfortunately I do not have time to cover those today. In terms of the type and model of the database, Couchbase is an operational database and it relies on ACID or atomic transactions. As we mentioned at the beginning of this course, atomic transaction just means that every transaction is unique, data is subject to constraints, changes are not visible until they're committed, and changes are stored even if the database goes offline. Couchbase DB operates on a cluster of nodes and is built to deliver consistent data to everyone working with it. Writes are made to an active node and then they are immediately replicated to its peers to a complete distributed ACID transactions. In terms of its model, it relates on distributed nodes in a cluster with one active for any given write, and the rest are just serving and replicas for the data. This way, the reads are guaranteed that are consistent with the latest updates. It's a non-relational, document-oriented database that's written in Erlang and C++. It is a collection of documents that are stored in a B+ tree, and as you know, a document is just a collection of attributes and values. It has no fixed schema as all other non-relational databases, and it can be structured in any way the user wants. The interesting thing about Couchbase DB is that unlike the other non-relational databases, it gives you the ability to run joins. In terms of accessibility, it's available on all devices, so both on the end user's device, whether that be mobile or desktop or browser, as well as on the web, and either a hosted server or cloud option are available. So let's begin with cloud. Couchbase Cloud is a fully managed database as a server and can be deployed on Amazon Web Services, Azure, Red Hat, and etc. Couchbase also provides the option to manage all of the work relating to the cloud. The company installs the database clusters directly into a customer's virtual private cloud account, and this is called the in-VPC deployment. Alternatively, customers can use the Couchbase server as opposed to the Couchbase Cloud. The Couchbase server has features such as memory-first architecture, geo-distributed deployments, workload isolation, and the database, it's really good at supporting mission-critical applications at scale while maintaining sub-millisecond latencies and 99.9% availability. The usage of a cloud-side database requires an additional software that's provided by Couchbase, which is called Sync Gateway, to provide synchronization of updates of both clients and servers. Plus, with the most comprehensive SQL-compatible query language, NIQL, migrating from a relational database to Couchbase server is easy with the ability of joins. Pricing. In terms of pricing, Couchbase DB offers multiple options. They have the community edition of Couchbase Server and Couchbase Mobile, which are available free of charge without recent bug fixes, and they come with the Apache 2 license. If the customer wants advanced functionality, they will have to go with the Enterprise Edition of Couchbase Server or Couchbase Mobile, both of which are licensed per server, per year, and include technical support. The most basic pricing metric that was provided on the website is 31 cents per node for individual developers and 47 cents per node for enterprise solutions. So the total cost will depend on the complexity and specific requirements of the user. In terms of data storage, because Couchbase DB has a distributed nature, it is scalable to upper limits that are only defined by the amount of investment that the company is willing to put into the hardware. Each node can be active for different records, therefore scaling the hardware does not limit consistent database reads. Every Couchbase node consists of a data service, index service, query service, and cluster manager component. The three services can be distributed to run on separate nodes of the cluster if that is what is needed, or it can be put up as an AP system with multiple clusters. How do we access the database? In terms of a data access language, Couchbase Server introduced NIQL, which is N1QL, a powerful query language that extends SQL to JSON, enabling developers to leverage both the power of SQL and the flexibility of JSON. It not only supports standard select from where statements, it also supports aggregation, such as group by, as seen on the picture here, sorting, sort by. It supports joins, left, inner, outer, as well as querying nested arrays and collections. In addition, query performance can be improved by composite, partial, covering indexes, and more. In terms of usability, it is available for offline use. Mobile apps are always responsive regardless of the network connections. Data is available on your local embedded database, even when it's offline, and can sync with the backend data centers when the network becomes available. Couchbase DB is not regarded the most easy database to use, but they do have good support, and customer experience is one of the most important differentiators. It supports large numbers of concurrent globally distributed users. It can easily handle semi and unstructured data and provides real-time data management that can accommodate unprecedented levels of scale, speed, and data variability. It is not designed for smaller companies. That is the downside. It is mostly targeting large enterprises. In terms of visualization and reporting features, this particular database offers a lot of tools and connectors that allow customers to integrate their operational data in JSON with the universe of existing relational tools and applications to create visualizations and reports. Couchbase Analytics provides a seamless, no ETL experience, and that way it can analyze the data with powerful queries. They have access to Noe, which is a cloud-based reporting and visualization tool that integrates with Couchbase. These tools can work together to provide powerful and easy visualizations. Noe also has advanced features such as machine learning and alerting, so customers can drive predictive actions directly from their Couchbase data. Now, outside of the native integration, CD Software provides standard-based connector technology for Couchbase Server, including ODBC, JDBC, ADO.NET, BizTalk, Excel, and etc. And so these drivers support direct interaction between a Couchbase Server cluster and almost any client or tool that is compatible with this protocol, such as Tableau and Power BI, which are the two most commonly used data analytic platforms in the business world. Let's take a look at some advantages and disadvantages and kind of recap everything that we talked about. In terms of advantages, some of the unique advantages include the SQL-like query language, NIQL, which enables joint support. So that is the main reason that customers choose this particular database. Another feature is full text search servers when a customer wants to take advantage of natural language querying. Another great feature is the built-in analytics platform, Noe, which doesn't require data to move. It does not require installation of drivers. Consequently, it has a multi-dimensional scaling feature which improves performance and throughput for the system. Now, in terms of drawbacks, according to a 2019 Stack Overflow developer survey, Couchbase DB was voted the most dreaded database to work with. The main reason was delayed latest updates and patches that are pushed for the Community Edition. So the Community Edition is free, and I kind of understand that. Another reason that was listed as to why this database was voted the most dreaded database to work with was that it requires somewhat advanced developer knowledge to set up and run. Some users mentioned that tutorials and documentation are not as useful. The database is not suitable for smaller startups because it's designed for large enterprises. It's designed to run at scale. And lastly, the replication process causes a need for high disk overhead to store additional copies of the data. Overall, Couchbase DB has been gaining in popularity among commercial users, mainly due to its SQL-like query language, NIQL, and some of its other benefits that are offered and that are not offered by other NoSQL databases. However, when making a final decision, a user needs to compare the detailed features for multiple databases so they can make an informed based decision. Thank you, and I hope that you found this presentation to be a useful introduction to another great NoSQL database, Couchbase DB. Appreciate your time.